From our lateral view, what we're looking for is that anterior posterior pelvic tilt. Ideally, we want to maintain a neutral spine or somewhere close to a neutral spine. Anterior pelvic tilt is going to create a big arch here, and a posterior pelvic tilt is going to be that rounding right here. So sometimes we can cue our clients to be able to fix that as they're squatting. We can cue that by showing them what neutral looks and feels like. So Kim, go ahead and lie flat on your back here. And what I want Kim to focus on is she's going to place one of her hands on her lower back in between that space and the ground. We want to be able to find neutral. So to do that, she has to know what anterior and posterior feels like. So if we go anterior, we create a big space where your hand can fit in between your lower back. On the other side of the coin, if we go posterior and you bring your hips towards your rib cage, that lifts your butt off the ground. Where I want you to be is neutral and focus on bracing your core, squeezing your glutes, and squeezing your stomach. So that's what I want you to do while you're squatting. Go ahead. Brace the core. Squat down nice and slow, and we're good maintaining a neutral pelvic tilt there. Now go and place your arms down. If you do see somebody with a lower back arch or lower back rounding, this is what it might look like. So Kim's going to place her arms up, lower back arching here, anterior pelvic tilt. She goes down. You see that big anterior pelvic tilt, okay? Come back up. Lower back rounding, also known as a butt wink, will typically happen once they reach about parallel on the way down, where they might look good as they descend, and then once they hit that parallel portion, they start doing that lower back rounding or that butt wink. Go ahead and come back up. Now, one of the first ways that we can fix that is we can change our squat stance. So sometimes if they go to a wider stance, that will automatically fix that, or focus on bracing with the core and the glutes. If that doesn't fix it, there's a few drills that we can do, typically that have to do with core activation and glute activation. Here's a couple of those drills. All right, so one of those drills that we can do to try to help that lower back arching, lower back rounding is developing a real strong plank here. So while Kim's in this plank, what she's really going to focus on is that neutral pelvic tilt, squeezing her core and squeezing her glutes, because she's going to try to maintain that same position as she's squatting. We can also focus on a basic glute bridge. So for this one, Kim's going to lie flat on her back here, and she's going to focus on driving her hips up into the air, squeeze up top, squeeze her core, squeeze her glutes, and then slowly descend back down, small tap on the bottom, and then drive right back up to the top. Both of these drills is going to help with your core activation, your glute activation, and hopefully have you stay in that neutral pelvic tilt while you're squatting.